Hey, friends, welcome back. I'm so glad you're here today because what we're covering could literally save you hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars. If you've ever opened your mailbox, pulled out a letter from the Social Security Administration or Medicare, and thought, what on earth does this even mean? This video is for you. Today, we are breaking down the 5 most common government letters that seniors receive, translating them from confusing government speak into plain English, and most importantly, telling you exactly what you need to do when you get each one. Now, here's the thing. Most people either panic when they see these letters or they toss them in a drawer and forget about them. Both of those are the wrong move. And there's one letter in particular, one that thousands of surviving spouses are throwing in the trash right now that could be worth extra money every single month for the rest of their lives. I'll tell you exactly which one that is. So stay with me. Before we dive in, if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications because this kind of information comes out regularly and you don't want to miss it. All right, let's get into it. Let's start with the first letter, and technically it's not a letter. It's a form, but it is absolutely critical that you pay attention to it. Every year, the Social Security Administration sends out what's called a Form SSA-1099. Think of it like the W-2 you used to get from your employer, except this one shows how much Social Security paid you last year. If you just started receiving Social Security benefits for the first time last year, this is your first time seeing this form, and it might feel confusing. Don't worry, I've got you. Here's the first thing you need to do. Check it for accuracy. Make sure the dollar amount on that form matches what you actually received. Because here's the deal. That number goes straight to the IRS, and it's what determines whether you owe taxes on your benefits. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. I heard Social Security benefits are now tax-free because of that new bill. I want to be straight with you. That is not correct. That provision did not pass as part of any current law. You may still owe taxes on your Social Security benefits depending on your income. Here's how it works, and this is actually good news for most people. The IRS only counts half of your Social Security income when calculating whether your benefits are taxable. If you are single and your total income is under $25,000 per year, that includes half your Social Security, zero of your benefits are taxable, not a penny. If you're single and your income falls between $25,000 and $34,000, then up to 50% of your Social Security benefits may be taxable. And if you're over $34,000, up to 85% could be taxable. So if you received $30,000 from Social Security last year, the IRS only counts $15,000 of that towards your income threshold. That's why roughly half of all Social Security recipients pay zero federal tax on their benefits. Check your 1099, make sure it's right, and hand it to your tax preparer or plug it into your tax software. Here's one that people often misread or ignore, and that's a costly mistake. If you worked any time last year and you are already receiving Social Security retirement benefits, you may receive a letter telling you that your monthly benefit has been recalculated and increased. Here's how it works. Social Security calculates your benefit based on your highest 35 years of earnings. If what you earned last year was higher than one of those 35 years, even by a little bit, Social Security automatically kicks out the lower year, plucks in the new one, recalculates your benefit, and increases your monthly check going forward. Now, here's the part people miss because this recalculation process takes several months, sometimes all the way to September or October. Social Security will also send you a retroactive payment covering the difference all the way back to January of that year. So if your benefit went up by $35 a month and they're sending you a check in October, you might receive a one-time payment of around $315 covering those 9 months. That's money you earned, and it's 100% automatic. You don't have to apply for anything, but you do need to open that letter and make sure the numbers are right. If they look too low, contact Social Security immediately. Okay, friends, this is one you absolutely cannot ignore. If you receive a letter from Social Security that says the word overpayment anywhere on it, please stop what you're doing and read it carefully. An overpayment means Social Security believes they paid you more than you were entitled to at some point. Now, sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong, but here's what happens if you do nothing. Under the current policy, if you don't respond to an overpayment notice, Social Security can withhold 50% of your monthly check automatically. You could wake up one day and find that your direct deposit is half of what it usually is. That's not a bank error. That's Social Security collecting what they say you owe. Here's the good news. You have options and you have rights. You can pay the full amount back if you're able. You can request a payment plan and pay it back in smaller amounts over time. You can request a waiver, which means you're asking Social Security to forgive the debt, usually because repaying it would cause financial hardship or because the overpayment wasn't your fault. And you can request a reconsideration if you believe the amount they say you owe is simply wrong. Do not let that letter sit on the counter. Call Social Security at 1-800-772-1213 or go to ssa.gov and log into your My Social Security account to address it right away. If you receive Social Security disability benefits, SSDI, or SSI, you will periodically receive what's called a Continuing Disability Review, or CDR. This is Social Security checking in to make sure you're still medically disabled and still qualify for benefits. I want you to know this is normal. It doesn't mean anything is wrong. It doesn't mean they're trying to cut you off. It's a standard process. But here's what I also need you to know. Do not ignore it. If you receive a CDR packet and you don't respond, Social Security can and will suspend your benefits. The forms inside will ask about your medical conditions, your doctors, your treatments, and whether anything has changed. Fill them out honestly and completely. If your condition has worsened, make sure that's reflected. Include all your doctors and any recent hospitalizations. I also want to give you a heads up. Social Security recently announced changes to how CDRs are being processed. They're moving more of this work in-house, and there may be some growing pains during the transition. So if you get a CDR and something seems off or confusing, don't just assume it's a mistake. Reach out and follow up. This might be the most important letter on this entire list, and it's the one that gets thrown in the trash most often. If you are a widow or widower receiving surviving spouse benefits from Social Security, and you are now approaching or have passed age 68, 69, or 70, you may receive a letter asking whether you'd like to switch to benefits on your own work record. Here's why this matters so much. Surviving spouse benefits are based on your deceased spouse's record. But if you worked and paid into Social Security yourself, your own benefit has been quietly growing this whole time, especially if you delayed claiming it. Your own benefit increases every year you wait up until age 70. So, Social Security sends out this letter, sometimes called a WACHIB RIIB notification, to let you know that your own retirement benefit may now be higher than what you're currently receiving as a surviving spouse. And switching over could mean more money every single month for the rest of your life. The problem is the letter doesn't say it that clearly. It's written in government language, and a lot of people look at it, think it's junk mail or a scam, and throw it away. Please, if you know anyone who is a widow or widower hour receiving Social Security, please share this with them. Ask them, did you ever get a letter asking about switching to your own benefits? If not, it may be worth calling Social Security to check. Now, let me dig a little deeper on a couple of things because I think there's some confusion out there that I want to clear up. This is one I see constantly and I want to address it head on. If you applied for Social Security disability benefits, there's a very good chance you received a denial letter within a week of applying. And I know how devastating that feels. But before you give up, read the top of that letter carefully. Does it say Supplemental Security Income, SSI? Or does it say Social Security Disability Insurance, SSDI? Snorts. Here's the thing. When you apply for disability benefits, Social Security is actually required to consider you for both programs at the same time. SSI is a needs-based welfare program with a maximum benefit of around $965 per month. If you have more than about $2,000 in the bank, or if your income is a little too high, or if your spouse works, you'll be denied SSI almost immediately. But that denial has absolutely nothing to do with your SSDI claim, which is the regular disability benefit based on your work history. That claim is still being processed. So if you got that letter and you're thinking about giving up, don't. Your real disability claim is still active. That SSI denial is completely separate. And here's something else that sounds simple but is absolutely critical. If you move, update your address with Social Security as soon as possible. Any of these letters going to the wrong address could cost you real money or trigger an automatic benefit reduction. The good news is when you update your address with Social Security, it automatically updates your address with Medicare as well. You can do this by calling 1-800-772-2213 or by logging into your My Social Security account at ssa.gov. While you're in there, you can also opt into electronic notices, so you never miss an important letter again. And I want to be honest with you about the overpayment policy. There was a period recently where Social Security was withholding 100% of people's monthly checks for overpayments, meaning people woke up with nothing. That policy was walked back. And the current withholding rate is 50% for unresolved overpayments. But I'll be honest, 50% is still devastating for someone living on a fixed income. This is exactly why you cannot ignore those letters. All right, let's make this practical. Here's exactly what I want you to do. First, log in or create your free My Social Security account at ssa.gov. This gives you access to your payment history, your letters, and your earnings record all in one place. If you haven't set this up yet, do it today. It takes about 10 minutes. Second, when your SSA 1099 arrives in January or February, open it immediately. Confirm the dollar amount matches what you actually received. If something looks wrong, call Social Security at 1-800-722-213 before you file your taxes. Third, if you receive an overpayment letter, do not ignore it. Call Social Security within 30 days. Ask about a waiver, a payment plan, or a reconsideration. You have rights, and there is almost always something you can do. Letting it sit will cost you. Fourth, if you're on disability and you receive a CDR packet, fill it out completely and send it back before the deadline listed in the letter. Snorts. Include all your current doctors, medications, and any recent changes to your condition. Keep a copy of everything you send. Fifth, snorts. If you're a surviving spouse over the age of 68 and you've never checked whether your own Social Security record might be worth more than your current surviving spouse benefit, call Social Security and ask them to run both numbers. It is a freak call, and it could change your financial picture significantly. And one important warning: no legitimate government agency will ever call you, text you, or email you asking for your Social Security number, your bank account information, or any payment via gift cards. If someone contacts you claiming to be from Social Security and asking for any of this, hang up immediately. That is a scam. While we're on the topic of staying informed, here are a couple of quick updates I want to make sure you know about. The Social Security COLA, that's your cost of living adjustment, your annual raise to help keep up with inflation, went into effect in January. For 2025, that increase is 2.5%. So if you're receiving $1,900 per month, your new benefit is approximately $1,247.50, about $47 more each month. That increase should already be reflected in your payments. Also, Medicare Part B premiums for 2025 are $185 per month, up slightly from last year. If you're receiving Social Security and have Medicare, that premium is automatically deducted before your deposit hits your bank account. So factor that into your budget. And if you haven't already, I strongly encourage you to create that My Social Security account online. Not only can you view your letters electronically, but you can also see your full earnings history. And that's important because if there's an error on your record, you want to catch it and correct it before it affects your benefit calculation. Snorts. I know that navigating all of this, the letters, the forms, the phone calls, can feel overwhelming, especially when you're already dealing with everything else life throws at you. But I want you to know something. You are not alone in this, and you don't have to figure it out by yourself. That's exactly why this channel exists. Let me do a quick recap. Your 1099, check it for accuracy and use it for taxes. Your benefit increase letter, open it. It may include a retroactive payment. An overpayment letter, act on it immediately. Don't let them cut your check in half. A CDR letter, fill it out and send it back. Your benefits depend on it. And that whip rib letter for surviving spouses, it could mean more money for life. So please don't throw it away. If this video helped you today, please take 2 seconds and hit that like button. It truly helps more people in our community find this information when they need it most. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that now and turn on the bell icon for notifications so you never miss an update. These policies change, and I'm here to keep you informed every step of the way. And I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me, have you ever received one of these letters and not known what to do with it? Which one confused you the most? I read every single comment, and sometimes your questions turn into the next video. You've worked hard your entire life. You paid into the system. You deserve to understand it. And you deserve every dollar you're entitled to. Don't give up. Stay informed, and I'll see you in the next update.